What's up, everybody? It's the Scene Snob Mick Manhattan. I am here with an all-new review. Tonight, I am talking about the brand new movie that just came out, Halloween Kills, which is a follow-up to 2018 Halloween, and therefore a follow-up from the 1978 Halloween film. I'm going to get pretty in-depth with it. I think it's important you guys should know now there will be spoilers. So if you have not seen it yet and you're planning on checking it out, please go watch it, then come back, and I would love for you to check out my review of it. Let me know what you think. Talk along in the comments. I would love to answer you or message me and just have a great conversation about it. So, without further ado, here is my review of Halloween Kills. If you guys didn't know or you didn't see anything about Halloween from 2018, I was a big fan of the film. I really like this timeline that they've started. And I was very excited to see, once I've heard that they're going to be doing 2 more movies, like where they're going to go with it. Once the names were announced, Halloween Kills being the second one and Halloween Ends being the third one, I was like, well, we're getting a trilogy here. I dig it. The movie is very much about how, as much as she's obsessed over him and it's consumed her life in so many ways, if he wasn't put in her path, she would have never seen him. She would have been just safe wherever she was. It wasn't about her at all. He was killing. And I had, anybody who's watched the show where I talk about it, I've been saying that for a long time. One of the things that I really liked, Michael Myers is just, doing his thing, and he just wants to kill. He doesn't care about Laurie surviving or anything like that. He doesn't even think about her. But everybody in that movie did think there was something to it. And I like that too. The reason I bring that up and I'm talking about it is because that is a big part of what happens here in this movie, Halloween Kills. So, to kind of touch down on a little bit, they redeem Allison's boyfriend in it fairly quickly. Somebody you found hateable by the end of the first one. He comes out, you find out that Frank Hawkins, the sheriff who was stabbed in the neck by the doctor in 2018, did survive. He gets help. He goes to the hospital, so he is alive. And you do find out his story from the angle of the 1978 after what happens in the first movie. And once that movie ends, what happened from there. A very cool surprise, not cameo. He had a part in the movie. It was a very important part in the movie. Jim Cummings, who I like from Wolf of Snow Hollow, Thunder Road, things like that. Like, he's such a really good actor and filmmaker in general. But he steps in here as one of the police officers who, with a young Hawkins on the force, are hunting down Michael Myers. Also, Lonnie, if you remember, who picked on Tommy Doyle, who was trying to sneak into the Michael Myers house, but Donald Pleasant stopped him. He was also the kid that, when he was running away from picking on Tommy Doyle, Michael Myers grabs. He plays a part in this. The flashback sequence that takes place in 1978, I really need to touch down on this. I really enjoyed how David Gordon Green filmed it. It looks like it's from the 1978 movie. Like, this is a continuation. I don't know whether he put like some kind of filter over how he shot it or something. I would love to read up on it some more to find out exactly how he did it, or if it was a post thing or how he shot it. The look of the characters, everything. Perfect. Like I said, it can match perfectly with the film from 1978 itself, or 1981's Halloween 2, which is null and void in this movie. It doesn't exist. One thing I really liked about this as well is we get to see Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. He shows up. It's very brief, but it plays a pivotal part. I really appreciated how they did it. It was graceful. It was touching. If you're a fan of Donald Pleasance, to see him come back, because I thought he really deserved to be a part of it. I did not like, in the 2018 version, the voice actor, I guess, they got to play him. This was a lot better, and they did a great job with it. And it wasn't just voice. He was, it was actually him. So I liked how they used that technology to bring him back. So we have that. So you see Hawkins' mistake. Yes, he was a part of capturing Michael Myers, but you see what happened from there on out. I'm not going to ruin everything. I know I said it's spoilers, but I don't want to, take everything out and wind out of the sails of everybody, just in case you are watching this and you haven't watched the movie yet. I want you to go check it out. One of the big things for me when it really came down to it was that I appreciated about this movie was it wasn't centered around any one person. I'd say the biggest character in this movie was probably Tommy Doyle, played by Anthony Michael Hall. I really liked how they brought everybody back, all the survivors, and the fashion in which they brought them back, which that says that every year they get together and they just, they're all friends. Marion Chambers, Lindsay, Tommy Doyle, Lonnie. You could tell, like, in past years, she's in the hospital in this one for most of it, but in past years, Laurie has probably joined them at the bar just to have some drinks and toast to surviving that night. And the anger that's still bruising them from that night, the PTSD that they still harbor, because things kick off. The metaphor of this movie is the mob mentality, cancel culture, things like that. But overall, the fact that once they hear that Michael's free, Tommy Doyle and the crew take the helm and they go out and they're like, screw this, he dies tonight. This is how this goes. And he is vicious. I see why they didn't get the original actor to play Tommy. A lot of people were like, well, you got the original actors who played everybody back. Why not him? There's a big reason, because he does. I don't want it sounds so petty when you say it like this, but like his part was very important. And now every character in the film and every actor is important. But like what I mean is you needed an actor, a seasoned actor, to step into this role, because he is the proponent for the mob mentality. He is the one leading the charge. He is the one that has to get them fired up. And the gentleman who played Tommy Doyle in 1978 Halloween is not an actor anymore. He did not get into acting, did not pursue that. Everyone else did. So there is something to it. And their parts are, to an extent, smaller. They're not as integral to this, what the story calls for. So you needed an actor who is seasoned, who can do it. And Anthony Michael Hall is a great actor who pulls up and really pulls off this character really well. Tommy Doyle almost being vicious and getting more and more vicious as it goes. I really appreciated that. There's three key plots going on in this story, and that is Anthony Michael Hall and the rest of who's playing Tommy Doyle and the rest of that survivors crew and the crowd of Haddonfield searching for Michael Myers. The Strodes, they don't realize that that's not the case at all. Like, he doesn't care. He's not going towards them at all, because then when we're following Michael, he's going on a path towards home, his home, his house. And it was just really well done throughout, how it all kind of intertwined, but at the same time was kept very separate, and how they all kind of meet at different times and what happens. Again, I don't want to go over, this isn't a point by point of what happens throughout the movie. This is more how I felt about it, what I really liked about it. It is very much a sequel that is supposed to be sandwiched into a trilogy. Absolutely 100%. That's what this is. And I think that's important to remember, because I'm reading a lot of things where people are like, it suffers sequel syndrome and things like that. And it's like, the reason I like this movie, now, not on the same level, but it's very much the reason I like Empire Strikes Back. You have all the characters are already developed, so you don't have to get into a backstory. And this plot is to drive forth where the ending goes. And we know the ending's coming. So when people are saying this suffers sequel syndrome and it's open-ended and this, that, and the other thing, how do you not know this by now? There's another movie coming. We know it. We know this isn't the end. We know we weren't getting an end. When this movie ended, there's still another chapter coming up. So I don't like how people are really kind of picking that apart. It just seems like they don't fully understand that, this is supposed to be what that is, the bridge from the 2018 movie to Halloween Ends. But it's a really good story. Now, I liked what happened in the character development that happened in the story and where the story goes. And it does tie things up, like, because there's going to be a 4-year time jump to Halloween Ends. So this story ends. This night of terror, which started in 2018, ends. how it ends is why it is pretty crazy. And what we didn't see throughout, Karen, the character Judy Greer plays, who throughout the entire time is just trying, like, she's dealing with grief of her husband dying. She's dealing with fear with her daughter running off, trying to kill Michael Myers herself. She's dealing with her mother laying in a hospital, might be dying. She's dealing with an entire town that's going crazy. Living the life of Michael Myers did come back. My mother was 100% right. Like, this whole thing, and it's she gets darker and darker throughout this whole thing. And by the end, she has reached full darkness. Like, she has become a killer just like Michael Myers. And now, again, we'll leave that open, but it also leads to her demise, which is what propels the story down the line. It was the Han Solo moment in Carbonite. So we will see what happens in the next one and where this goes and what happens with the characters, because Hawkins and his whole storyline of what happened in 1978 and what he did is going to have to be played out. Laurie and what happens with her is going to have to be played out with, losing Karen, and Allison losing pretty much everybody. Very well done. Very exciting. Almost everybody dies in it except for, a mere few, of the top players. But the whole thing was, from a metaphorical standpoint, I thought was good and touched on society and a lot of things that we're going through, a lot of scary things that we've been through, especially this year. But what I really liked about it was, if you just break it down to what it does in the Halloween timeline, it fits perfectly. And it adds a whole new layer to who Michael Myers is. Like, that's something I appreciate because I love Michael Myers. You got him over there. It's just something that this is the timeline that I think I like the most right now. Not saying that I don't appreciate the other movies or anything like that, but like, this is the timeline I really enjoy. And this is also a movie that I watched and I wanted to watch again, and I might still do that this weekend. That says something to me. I can't ignore that. Like, if a movie makes me want to watch it again, especially right after, to me, that says it's a good movie. Now, there might be a lot of haters because, again, it's not as closed off. You don't get you don't get a resolved storyline. You get a storyline that ends. A condensed storyline for this movie that ends, but still goes forth, and it still sets up so much more for finale. Don't like that there's no resolution to it. I knew going into this that this was the sequel and the second one of a trilogy. So and David Gordon Green did a fantastic job. I really appreciate it and liked it. He and Danny McBride wrote a good second act to this 3-act structure of what the Halloween trilogy that they're putting together is. And I'm very excited for Halloween Ends. My speculation of where it could go. Clearly Laurie is going to be the biggest proponent of this. She's going to have to be the hunter now. She's going to have to step up. There were so many hunters that you'll see what happens to them in this movie. But she's going to have to be the one to outsmart Michael Myers in such a way that's not that hard to do, but at the same time, like, she's going to have to outthink him because she can't outbrute him. He has grown to be something even bigger than I think he knew he was. True evil personified. I also like that his whole meaning for doing everything he does is sort of touched on big time in this movie. So go check it out. Halloween Kills. I give it 4 out of 5 chainsaws. So we're sticking with that for the month for our Snobs Horrorfest. Halloween Kills is a good movie. I really liked it. I say go check it out. Now remember, please like, follow, subscribe, everything with the Scene Snobs. You can go to scenesnobs.com. There's links for everything. And if you want to work with us, there it is. Hashtag Snobs Horrorfest. Right now we're doing all horror movies on all our shows and things like that, reviews and different things there. We just put out Real Combat with Ron Lippett and Kathleen Wass. And you should go check that out and see what movies they picked and what we what won. So I am the Scene Snob Mick Manhattan. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you enjoyed Halloween Kills. If you did or you didn't, please comment below or message me. I would love to talk to you about it. Until next time, I am the Scene Snob, and take care, everybody.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, and you can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, or you can check it out on any podcast platform or our YouTube channel anytime after that. Thank you to our patron supporters. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. If you guys want to join, check us out over on thescenesnobs.com. We have links for everything. The Scene Snobs merch store is open. You can check that out too. Links again on the site. Or like, follow, and subscribe on all of our social media. Again, head over to thescenesnobs.com. It's all there for you guys. Love you, and we'll talk to you guys soon.